What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, while this morning there is a brand new still of Spider-Man No Way Home, of course it's Doc Ock and Peter Parker on the bridge, because apparently that's the only scene in the movie. We also got a ton of brand new quotes from that Total Film interview from Tom Holland in anticipation of the full interview being released, where he talks a lot about the film, and we're going to get to that. But we have to start with and break down the social media fiasco from last night. And in the 4 years I've been doing this, I have never, ever received as many texts, DMs, and tweets all at the same time asking me what was going on as the internet broke. John Campea leaking out two huge photos for Spider-Man No Way Home with enormous implications. I'll of course issue the spoiler warning. We'll break them down. We're also going to go over his reaction and or defense, his excuse, which is extremely weird, but at least, you know, he had one and why he shared them in the first place. We'll break that down. I'm not trying to defend him in any way. We'll talk about the photos, everything that's happened for Spider-Man No Way Home in the last 12 hours, which is crazy because it's a ton. But first, if you could consider hitting the subscribe button. We're still giving away a PlayStation 5 at 900,000 subscribers, which we are easily going to ding right around the corner. We're making tons of headway. Could be month's end, could be next month. So if you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That'll automatically enter you to win the PlayStation, all of the future prizes of the channel. If you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So major spoiler warning for everything we'll be talking about in this video going forward. It's everywhere on the internet, but in case somehow you haven't seen it, this is your first time being told about it, and you don't want to know anything going into Spider-Man No Way Home, where we normally say take everything with a grain of salt. No, not today. This isn't the salt. This is actually the steak you put the salt on. So if you're not hungry, you might want to back out now. So again, spoiler warning withstanding. If you haven't heard what happened last night, industry insider John Campea posted two pictures to Instagram, which we will not share here. They are all over the internet and very easy to find, but posting them will open yourself up to legal ramifications, especially if they're real, which the internet seems to think they are. Now, in the two photos, you have huge spoilers. The first of which shows Aunt May happy, Tom Holland's Peter Parker, and of course Charlie Cox's Matt Murdock sitting at a table in Aunt May's apartment. Presumably this is the scene where Tom Holland recently was explaining they were all sitting around the table with Aunt May happy and another person talking about what it's like to be a superhero. The next shot shows Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, and Tobey Maguire standing on scaffolding on a platform in front of a river that sort of coincides with the blue background video we had already seen of Andrew Garfield and presumably Tobey Maguire. It's almost the exact same platform, but all three of them unmasked. The money shot we've all been waiting for. And again, both of these photos, if they're real or not, still had John Campea's watermark square in the middle of them. Well, John Campea himself, once these started going mega viral and almost instantly, took to Twitter to explain what these were or why he posted them. This is what he had to say in tweets that have now been deleted. Holy sh... Okay, I've shared Spider-Man Photoshops before with like 12k retweets, like this one, and he shares one that we've used, actually a photo I'll use in this video during the prologue. Then today I get sent these, and I think they're great Photoshops, all caps, because the one image has the classic mistake of inconsistent lighting placement. The light source. In the image, the light source is on the left side of Tom's face, but on the wrong side of Tobey's. Obviously Photoshop. 5 minutes later, someone contacts me saying they might be real, so just to be safe, I delete them and go to dinner, watch some of the football game, then turn on my computer and find out the dang things went viral and I'm trending on Twitter. So yeah, I thought and still think they might be fake, but who knows, you decide. And then in a follow-up tweet, because he was obviously feeling the pressure, things got very out of hand last night. He was getting absolutely spammed and crushed for leaking these out and making major spoilers, which is crazy because quite honestly, that's what most people want to see anyway. This is what he said in his last tweet, again before deleting them all. And I've suddenly gained over 1,000 new Twitter followers. Okay, look, last thing I'll say here, if I, 1, thought these images were real, and 2, wanted to share them, I would have done a headline video on my YouTube channel to get views, not a Twitter just to delete it 5 minutes later. Now, I'm not sure about that. I have told you guys what I think about all of this in the past. And of course, again, I can't put those photos in this video or I'm going to get a major copyright strike and a major legal problem, which is why he might not put those on his channel in the first place. But what I will say is that I would never call anyone a liar. I've watched some of John Campia's content in the past. I don't know him like some of the other YouTubers I know him, but I would never just call someone a liar. He may have thought they were Photoshops and made an honest mistake. Also, with sort of leaning on the lighting, whenever I see a new leaked photo, I have 2 or 3 guys who are all professional, literally the top of the top graphic designers in their fields. I always run it by them. And when I ran those photos by them last night, they found some problems with the photos, including some of the poses looked eerily similar to comped pieces of assets from before. Plus, a very heavy lighting layer, which takes the black value, especially on the photo of all 3 Spider-Men, was sort of pushed to gray, implying that it was a cinematic shot, but the framing itself wasn't cinematic at all. Meaning there is a chance that these actually are Photoshops, the Photoshops that John Campia thought that they were in the first place. But the internet has pointed out a lot of consistencies, especially in the apartment, the lamp, the bookshelf. It would be very hard to recreate all of these consistencies and make sure they were all in detail. And while yes, there are some details that look inconsistent or like previous assets, when you take the photo as its whole, the sort of weighing consensus here from my group of experts is that these are real. These were leaks. And so while John Campia may have made a mistake and thought they were Photoshops, it seems to have proven that Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland will all be teaming up finally in a confirmation of the Spider-Verse. But I am going to play the Mephisto's advocate for just a second here. I'm not sure why he would have watermarked photos that he thought were a Photoshop. Generally, the person who makes the Photoshop puts a watermark on them, and if they were Photoshopped as he thought they were, you wouldn't then watermark them with your own watermark. I've made my own Photoshops here at the channel. I've never tried to pass them as legit, but we did one for the Proton Cannon. We've done some fan casting art as Joel Kinnaman as Gambit, and I've watermarked that because that was art that I had commissioned to be done at the channel. It was Photoshopped that I watermarked. In this instance, if you were just sent some random Photoshops, you wouldn't stick your own logo on them unless they were yours or unless you thought they were real. I'm just saying, he may have thought they were really good Photoshops and that they would go viral on Twitter and wanted to get the clout off the watermark from them. It could have just been bad decisions and a mistake. But either way, seems like Spider-Verse confirmed. Now, speaking of Spider-Verse confirmed, Tom Holland had some new things to say about Spider-Man No Way Home in an upcoming Total Film interview that hasn't been released yet, but we have snippets from the film alongside this brand new still. This is what he was talking about when asked about the film specifically being much more darker. Quote, "What people will be really surprised about is that it's not fun, this film." Tom Holland tells Total Film in a new issue of the magazine featuring Scream on the cover. Quote, "It's dark and it's sad and it's going to be really affecting. You're going to see characters that you love go through things that you never wished for them to go through." And I was just really excited to kind of lean into that side of Peter Parker. Peter Parker is always someone who's looking up. He's always really positive. He's always like, I can fix this. I can do this. Whereas in this film, he feels like he's met his match. He's like, I don't know what to do. And this was an aspect of the character that I had never seen before, and I was really, really excited to try to tackle. I haven't seen the film yet, but I've seen pieces of the film, and it's the best work we've ever done. It's the best Spider-Man film we've ever made. I really don't think fans are ready at all for what we've put together. I know I'm not ready, and that it's going to be brutal. The other really insane quote he had was about 3 generations of Spider-Man coming together. This is what he said in the case of sort of having to live up to his co-stars, people like Alfred Molina and the massive cast on set. Quote, "Everyone puts on their trousers the same way in the morning. It was interesting having to see those guys come in because they have a certain ownership over Spider-Man in their own way," and he pauses. Our spidey senses start tingling. I'm talking about Alfred and Jamie and those guys. To see Alfred come in and have to adapt and change the way that the films are made, but also the change in director, and also the fact that I'm now Spider-Man, it was really interesting to see these actors adapt and change to what they were doing in the modern era. And then literally the article writer goes on to say, was that a slip of the tongue? But Holland over-clarifies. People don't believe me when I say that Maguire and Garfield are not coming back. But people are going to have to believe me at some point. It means a lot to me. The first time you see Doc and the rest of the characters that come back, it's so exciting. It's such a huge moment in cinematic history. It's 3 generations coming together. So again, whether it's a second slip of the tongue there or not, they've all been coached. They're also acutely aware at this point, and honestly, the practiced denial from everyone at Marvel, not just Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland, and lucky for Tobey Maguire, he's been completely out of the media cycle. but all of the casting rumors that have broken with actors in the past over the last year, literally a scripted denial. They haven't called me. I haven't gotten a call. I don't know anything about it. It's not true. I haven't gotten a call. Even Tatiana Maslany, who was announced as She-Hulk, did the same thing. She went even further. Not only did she say she knocked out the call, she said she sees these kind of rumors all the time, but unfortunately in this case it wasn't true, only to be officially announced as She-Hulk literally less than a month later. So that's how it's going right now over at Marvel. But guys, what do you think about all of these, the leaked set photos, etc.? If you come into those photos, don't repost them. You don't want your social media account banned for no reason. We went live last night at the channel in reaction. It was a lot of fun. I'll start trying to do that a little bit more. Let me know all your thoughts down below quickly. Let's jump into the giveaway stuff again before I let you go. Alright, we're still giving away the PlayStation 5. This is going to be like maybe the 15th console we've given between PlayStation 4 Pros and now PlayStation 5s here at the channel. 900,000 subscribers, which we are headlong into, should easily hit by this month's end, and if not, absolutely by year's end. So, if you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below, because it's truly random. The more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos the same way we're doing here. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you liked today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name is Michael Roman. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, wherever you listen to original music, under the name Allfires, and I would really appreciate it if you check that out. Either way, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.